All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to each of you. My name is Shanika Hallbeck, and I am your accounting advisor. If you are joining me for the very first time, welcome. If you are coming back on a weekly basis, as we like to do, welcome back. I want to encourage you to click like and share this right now. And if you are on the social media channel where you need to subscribe, click that subscribe button as well as the bell. All right. So this week we are talking about part two of my quick series on stop asking for more money until you do these two things. Okay. So if you missed last week, you need to go back to the replay to see what I shared for week one. And week one was all about vision. It was all about vision. A lot of times, especially churches. I do not only serve churches, so I help churches, small businesses, and individuals get financially organized. So I am your one-stop shop for all things finances. It is a part of my purpose and what I'm called to do, and I enjoy helping people break through to financial freedom. And last week, we talked about how your church and or your business and even in your individual life, one of the things that you really, really, really need to hone in on and really zoom in on is your vision. A lot of times we are saying we need more money, we need to ask for money, we need to raise more funds, but one of the things that really helps raise funds without you even asking is casting a vision that everyone can understand. So, again, if you missed that from last week, go watch the replay. It will be a lot of goodness in there for you. All right. Number two, I'm going to jump right in. Number two, today, we're going to talk about the second thing that you can do to stop asking for money until you fix this. And there are a number of things that I have to share with you, and I'll probably put it in a webinar to train you a little bit more. But I'm going to give you number two, which is what I call my golden child. You get this just by nature of being connected, right? Number two is so simple, but it's so true. It is making giving simple. I want you to write that down. Making giving simple. And I know it seems like a very simple thing, but this is one of the two things that I'm sharing with you that you can do to stop asking for more money. And until you do this thing, you need to make giving simple. Now, some of you, you already have this fixed. You are doing a really good job at it. Others of you, it may be something you need to look at because your giving may be confusing. Right. And how do you make giving simple? It's just making sure you have number one, enough opportunities for people to give and that you make it easy for people to give. A lot of times, sometimes people are not giving because the systems that you have in place, they're too complicated. People have to click on several different things to get to giving. You want to make it a simple click. You want to make it easy and you want to have multiple avenues of giving, right? And so if your church and or your business only gives one way, I want you to look at how people are giving into your business. How are they paying for invoices? Is it easy? Do they only have one link that they can pay? Can they only use PayPal or can they only use Zelle or can they use PayPal and Zelle? Can they use PayPal, Zelle, and ACH? Can they use PayPal, Zelle, and ACH as well as a credit card, right? Can they give multiple ways? I promise when you fix this and you look at this, it is automatically going to increase your giving. Not only can they give in multiple ways, but the frequencies in which they give. So, if you are a church, obviously you move off of donors. If you don't have other things like grants and other sources of income, if you are a business, obviously you charge for your services. If you are someone who is individually working through your finances right now, obviously you may pay a particular way, right? And you want to look at those fees to say, if you're paying by credit card, are you incurring fees? Or if you're paying by A versus if you pay by ACH, maybe you don't have fees. But for those particular churches out there, Are you giving people not only different ways to pay, but the frequencies in which people are able to pay? So a lot of times we know during summertime, they go on vacations, they may forget, or whatever the case may be. You want to make it to where you have some type of system in place, no matter how small, that they can give on a recurring basis. The frequency of giving. Sometimes people give maybe only when they come to church. You want to make sure that they can give during the week. Maybe when they get paid, maybe on a Sunday the service is going really really well and they forgot. Oh my goodness, right? Maybe they were still in the spirit when the offering time came up. Are you giving them more opportunities to pay outside of Sunday services? There are other things that I could talk to you about as it relates to Sunday services and actually how you can create an atmosphere for people to give and be intentional about your giving. But different ways to give and the frequencies, right? If they can only give on a Sunday or if they can only pay their bills when your business is open, you may be limiting your ability to get more funds and to be able to increase your revenue, right? You want to make sure that they can give on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, right? Whenever you're open for hours of operation. So this is the number two, and I'm going to tell you, it may sound very simple, but if you do this, number one, and you do this well, you are going to see an increase in your giving. Text to give, online giving, mobile giving, QR codes, website donations. When you reduce the barriers to generosity, you're automatically going to see generosity increase. People can't give if you don't give them convenient options, right? So you need to look at your giving systems, your invoicing systems. How are people paying you? Can they give online? Can they give from a phone? Can they give from text messaging? Those are the different ways. Making giving available every time somebody engages with your business or church is an opportunity to give. Encouraging recurring giving is also a way to increase, and you do not necessarily have to ask for money. Now, obviously, there may be some teaching around what giving is, different things that you could do, right? So, making your process clear and simple is the key to stop asking for money all the time if you just fix these things. I have a whole list of these things, and I think that I am going to do some type of webinar or coaching around this to really help you understand. Because the problem is sometimes we feel like we have to do these extravagant fundraisers, and sometimes those things are very needed, right? Fundraisers, different ways to kind of give towards a particular project or plan. But there are other simple ways and other simple things that you can do to fix this to where you're not having to get up or increase your services or whatever the case may be. It's going to take some of the stress out of giving, some of the stress out of increasing your funding automatically. And so, if you want to know more about how you can stop asking or even, having to increase if you're in a church asking for funds, because obviously that's what we do if you're a business, some ways that you can increase your giving without necessarily or your revenue without necessarily having to increase your services. We can definitely take a look at that. If that is you and this has sparked your interest and or this has given you some very specific tools that you can implement right away, if you need more information or you want to sit down and talk about it, I'm going to put a link somewhere around here. Click the link and come talk to me about more ways that you can increase your giving if you're a church, that you can increase your revenue if you're a business owner, and if you can increase your income if you are an individual. I'd love to talk more. I am Shanika Hallback. I help churches, small businesses, and individuals get financially organized. And right now, what I'm also helping is individuals manage their finances and their budget well. And I cannot tell you, when you start to think differently, you start to maneuver differently. When you start to maneuver differently, you come into a financial freedom that you have always dreamed of, always desired. So I hope this helps. And if so, leave me a comment below, and we'll see you right back here very soon. Stop asking for more money and get strategy. Talk soon.